Hello everybody. Here is one of my favorite equations. Y equals ln of x divided by m minus sa, and the whole expression is divided by r squared. And in this equation we have a few parameters. For example, sa, that would be two constants, r squared, that would be a constant, and m is also a constant. But these are parameters that we can choose as long as we make sure that this equation is defined, and it has to be defined so that ln is the argument of ln is larger than 0. So we can write x over m minus sa must be larger than 0, because otherwise the argument of ln is not defined. And we can rearrange this equation or this inequality and say x must be larger than m times s times a. Only then will this equation be defined. We can do a little bit of exploratory plotting for this equation. So here I have the x values and I have corresponding y values, so my dependent values here. And I have set the parameters that we are looking at so that this equation here or inequality here is given, is correct. So for example, I've chosen m equals 0.2, r equals 1, s and a are 2 respectively, and we get a curve like that. That looks something like that, and of course it is dominated by this ln. But now the question is, what does this equation actually stand for? Let's try to rearrange a little bit this equation, and I'll write it again down here. Y equals ln of x over m minus sa divided by r squared. And let's make this a little bit more nice and pretty. So the first thing that I'll do is I bring the r squared to the other side. I multiply by r squared and I get r squared y equals, and the r squared cancels out, equals ln of x over m minus sa. Now the next step is I need to get rid of the ln function here, and I do that by taking both sides to the power of e. That means on the left hand side I get e to the power of r squared y equals e and ln cancel each other out because they are the inverse mathematical operations. So I have x over m minus sa on the right hand side. Now what I can do is I bring x and sa to the same denominator, and I do so by just simply extending this sa term by m. So I get e to the power of r squared y equals x over m minus msa divided by m. And now I can put that on the same fraction. So that would be x minus msa divided by m. And we are soon there. I just multiply both sides of the equation by m, so I get rid of the fraction here, and I end up with m times e r squared y equals x minus msa. And I can of course write this a little bit in a nicer format, so I can write this as m times e to the power of r squared y equals x minus M-A-S. And that is actually what I want to wish you all with this fantastic equation. Merry Christmas if you celebrate, and have a fantastic time. Enjoy your holidays and try to recharge your batteries. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All the very best, and I shall see you next term next year. Bye bye.